Hello, Internet. It's me once again, Jason from Dehd, and here is another track breakdown, this time of the song Empty in My Mind.
Empty in my mind. Empty in my mind. Empty in my mind.
One of my favorite things about this song is the drums, and so I thought that maybe for this track breakdown, we'll just mostly look at the drums. Basically, the whole dang thing started with a really simple beat on the 404 that I made, and maybe with some Oberheim drum samples. So it sounds like this. And then this is basically what was playing in the practice space, this practice space, and the song started falling into place as such. Had some drums. We had bass. We had some guitar. Vocals. To make it sound less like a rock band, we wound up muting the drums that Eric was playing because there's just too much. It felt too much like in a room, and it needed to be more like a machine, I guess. So we started back with the 404, but then building off of that, we added some extra snare samples. So this was basically our core beat that happens throughout the whole song. The little fun thing in the background is this. I was running it through an old guitar pedal called the Micro Synth. And I was basically just running through the drums through this to kind of blow them up and then give them this, like, I'm standing outside of a club, hearing the beat through the wall kind of sound that is just constantly pulsing in the background. And I think the character of it makes it feel a little bit more alive than just the drums themselves. There's kind of some other heartbeat quality to it that I think is subtle, but when it's in the mix of everything is really nice. The one thing that was kind of lacking from this, though, is I feel like the snare is on this like backbeat, and so to give the whole song even more drive, I created this sequenced kick. And it's really punchy and attacky, and I guess it's kind of almost acting more like a hi-hat or something like that. So I stacked them on top of each other, and then this is what we got. Just a little bit more sense of urgency throughout the whole thing. So once the main beat was really established, then I was able to kind of add all the little ornamentation, which is probably what I spent the most time on, but was also the most fun. So there's all these little sounds, like here's the chorus. This is just the various drum machines and playing around on an SBD ASX that we normally use for our live shows, but in the studio here we were like using it as kind of a percussion station in and of itself. So one of my favorite sounds of this whole realm is this. And it's just this like little noise sample. And you don't really hear it so much as perceive it, and there's this little ASMR-y crackle that happens on the far reaches of your headphones or speakers, and I realized, especially making this record where when you have like the electronics, and there's a lot more electronics than real drums, kind of the way to give it more life and character is like by this layering of textures where they may all be doing kind of the same thing, but there's just this breadth of variety that kind of like work together in this pulse, and the little subtle things I think is kind of what give it more of a unique vibe, and rather than just being some sample that you found on the internet and then it's the same sample that everyone else can have. So another little thing the pre-chorus is these two baddies. This is another one of my favorite parts of the song. And I think that sequenced hi-hat kind of bongo section is really fun and kind of gives it this like lift in the song. And if you listen to it with our vocals like so,
Give me all
there's this like sense of like uplifting that happens, especially with the vocals, and I think the air of the drums and this kind of extra energy
I'm empty in
helps lift that section up and bring the energy full up into the chorus, which is obviously the empty my mind bit.
mind. Oh, empty in my mind.
And though we thought that Eric's acoustic drums would be gone forever, they did make a return in the chorus. We set up a kind of whole drum world for Eric, where there's just like a big half moon of toms, and that we could just kind of mess around with and play out different patterns, and then we kind of wound up falling onto this pattern, and it worked as a nice counterpoint to the vocals, so that when the vocals are done with the phrase, the toms kind of come in and complete the section. So this is what it sounds like.
Mind. Oh, empty in my mind. Oh, empty in my mind. Oh, empty in my mind. Oh.
And it was kind of a nice way to marry the fully electronic thing with the real drum sound, because I think in the choruses too it feels exciting and it wants a little bit more of the like raw nature of like how our band really sounds like when it's stripped down to just the basics. So I guess overall, with this song at least, the kind of the big challenge was how to make the different parts stand out and feel unique, even though the whole song is kind of built on this core loop. And really, it's just kind of like, as you can see on this screen, hopefully that my screen recording works, a lot of the tracks look like, the Swiss cheese, lots of holes in them. And it's really just like because of adding things and taking things away and sort of like playing with the capacity of the beat in the song. So it's just as exciting to take things away as add them sometimes, and I think that took me a long time to learn, because so long I was just like adding and adding and adding, and then you kind of only always get to the same place. So being able to take things away, like in this verse, even the pre-chorus thing where you have this exciting energy, and then when that goes, it makes all the space for the vocals to happen. So yeah, empty in my mind. It looks a lot like Swiss cheese.